Hello, welcome to Hope for Flint. I'm your host, Kristen Wolosinovich. What a fun day today in the Hope for Flint studios right here in the Ferris wheel. I have Nadim Gabriel. Hello, sir.
Hello.
And I have Andre Zerka.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Stars of Just Renting Flint. You guys, hello.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited to have you both. I'll start with you, Nadim. Tell us a little bit about this new show, right, that was just picked up by the Heartland Network, Just Renting Flint. Tell me about the premise.
So about a year and a half ago, we were throwing around the idea of doing the show, and one of our partners and the other executive producer, Jack, from Las Vegas, was a client of ours.
Okay.
And he kept pitching me this idea, let's do the show. And he kept asking, and you know, nobody was really on board at the office. Nobody wanted, I mean, not nobody, Andre didn't want to do it really. And then people at the office were kind of wanted to do it, you know.
Sure, so it's a reality show, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it kind of dives into, so we shot the pilot, you know, we kind of had fun with it, shot the pilot.
So Just Renting Flint is kind of about flipping houses in Flint. Is that what it's about, or what's the premise?
Not necessarily. So it dives deeper into like the investment and management part of real estate and the rental property management, you know.
Okay. So do we think kind of, and I'll ask you, Andre, do we think Flint's kind of a hot brand right now? You know, obviously we got national news because of the water crisis, and Flint is now hopping in electric. And as Nadim said, you kind of weren't all in the beginning, but I'm sure you two working together, because what is the name of your company?
Gabriel Management.
Gabriel Management. A day in the life, like, do you ever say, we say all the time, oh my gosh, if there were cameras on us, they would be like, are you kidding me? So did you kind of start drinking the Kool-Aid, if you will, a little bit when that started coming towards you?
About 3 years into our business, we're about 10 and a half years old now. About 3 years into the business, we had a client from California that told us, hey, you guys really need a show. You really need a show. This is when the recession really was in full gear and everything was going crazy. Houses were being bought for $5,000. So he's like, you guys need a show. We didn't really want to do anything like that. We're just starting to get this company going. So
sure, you're thinking more of the business side.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, okay, so you start kind of mulling around the idea of doing it. And then who pulls the trigger? Is it you?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, he left it up to me to say yes, because it's showcasing our business and a lot of our time and our employees' time. So it was kind of our call, you know, as opposed to his call, our other partner. And so, you know, finally...
You're like Z Formation, our call,
yeah,
not yours.
Yeah, right. And, you know, because it is, you know, more so our business and putting us out there. So we had to, you know, kind of just think about it, see what's going to happen. Are we going to get busy after this? Is it going to, you know, are we going to have to adjust our systems and add people? And, you know, to if the show took off, you know, people could start calling us, could get really busy. So there's a lot of things to think about. And you had to put a lot in perspective, because it's going to put you on blast. Sure.
Not only that, it's going to, it's putting you out in the forefront. There's a lot of great things that happen in life, but if you're a private person, you know, you have to really kind of contemplate being thrust out there, right?
That's one of my biggest, was my biggest things is, you know, just being out there, having everybody just start talking shit about you and whatnot and all that.
It's true.
So
there's always haters, so whether you do something good, bad, it doesn't matter. There's always people that are gonna.
It's almost like, you know, you have to start developing this armor of thick skin. So you had to prepare yourself. Okay, so when did you start shooting the show? Tell me a little bit take me through the journey.
Sure. So about a year and a half ago, we started shooting the pilot, and we were just messing around. We actually shot the pilot in like 2 or 3 days.
Cool.
And, you know, still after the pilot, we weren't too sure, and, you know, we were bouncing the idea back. And, you know, we just, after the pilot, we shot a couple more episodes. We're like, let's just keep shooting. Something's going to come with this. We were trying to approach networks at that time, and so we just kind of went with it and kept shooting the episodes. It became more fun. That's
what I was going to say. Did you start to enjoy it?
Yeah, I
mean, this last time they were out here filming, we actually did really enjoy it. You know, you start thinking it through. You start thinking as a producer and stuff. All right, this will look good. This won't look good. Things like that. Things like we never thought we'd actually do. Yeah,
it changes your mindset, and you start to kind of learn about the production industry, and then you start kind of adding in your 2 cents and what you think would look good. It's a really fun process.
It is.
And you know, in our situation, we are producing it ourselves. We started a production company, and you know, when I'm looking at the stuff and the responsibilities behind the scenes, it's a lot of work. And I didn't realize it at first. And I'm like, yeah, we joke around, okay, executive producer, associate producer, whatever, and it's like, it's a lot of work. Like before this meeting, I was going through the episodes, we were going through and seeing what needs to be changed. It's a lot of stuff. And this network's allowing us to produce it ourselves, which is hard as a beginning, as a brand new production company.
But I think what that allows you to do is keep the content authentic.
That was our biggest thing.
And you own it.
We didn't want any fake stuff on there. We didn't want people telling us to do or say something. What we're doing, what we're saying on the show is truly what's happening.
It's who you are. And being from Flint and being Flintstones and growing up, one of the things about this community is it's about authenticity and trust and being real.
Absolutely.
As you guys know, you've dealt with it, and especially dealing with the people coming in from Vegas. There's not a lot of trust within this community. And you guys are in the trenches. You are deep in the neighborhoods.
Right.
So you have to forge these relationships. And if they don't trust you, it's done.
Sure. Absolutely.
Isn't that?
That's the biggest thing, especially with this whole Flint water thing. They've replaced pipes and whatnot, but people just don't trust.
Well, even, they have to go in and assess, are they galvanized pipes? Is it this? And then they have to go in and dig their front yard. And then even so, they dig their front yard up, they get their pipes, they're told everything's safe. And then the next day there's a boil advisory.
Exactly.
So we've been through some, in the words of Andre, we've been through some shit, man.
That's true.
That's true. So, okay. So it's been how long again?
About a year and a half.
About a year and a half. Yeah. And how many shows were you able to produce? And how long are the shows?
So they're 30-minute episodes. And as of they left last Saturday, we have 10 of them shot. And on September 5th, we are shooting the last 3 because we signed a 13-episode season. So we have to give them 13 episodes. So we're shooting the last 3 next week, or in the beginning of September.
And the big announcement, you were picked up because you were shopping networks.
Yes.
And that, right, Andre, in itself is quite a process as well. But you were picked up by the
Heartland Network.
The Heartland Network. Mm-hmm. And when do the shows begin to air?
August 25th, actually this coming Sunday, is the premiere. At 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
You guys, I'm so excited. Are you excited?
It is. It's exciting.
It's very exciting.
It really is.
It's really cool. And, it's not easy, especially in this day and age. Everyone's doing reality shows. Everyone's doing documentaries. So for a network to pick you up, that's kind of a really big deal.
Yeah, something like that.
And our show is kind of a mix of reality and documentary in one. So it's kind of a different twist.
It's like a docuality.
Yeah, it is. It's a different twist.
I'm writing that down. Did you guys copyright docuality?
I haven't looked it up yet, but I really feel like it's a new twist on TV because it's raw. Like I said, it's raw footage.
Raw.
It's obviously there's scenes where we have to have cameras set up inside the house when we're walking in.
Sure.
Obviously it has to look good. But at the end of the day, what we're talking about in the shows and whatnot, it's
okay, so I'm going to ask you some real tough questions.
Let's take it.
Because let's do it, but let's have some raw, honest conversation right now. So it's the entire process. It's purchasing the home, but going in. I'll start with you, Nadim. It's going into some of the hood, right? And seeing some things that are crazy. Is this the truth? What you see?
Yeah, there's obviously tougher neighborhoods in the city, so it's just, we know the area so well that we handpick properties for our clients, and we know what gets the higher rent and the higher values and all that. So
if I'm a viewer, where's the entertainment factor? Is it the relationship within the office? Is it sometimes going to the neighborhoods? Is it sometimes dealing with the people selling the houses? Or is it all of the above?
I think it's a little of everything.
It's all of it. You're going to see a lot of stuff on the show. There's a squatter in one of the properties where we were not knowing what we're getting ourselves into.
Is that wrong? Squatting?
Right.
I'm just kidding.
We went to that.
I'm just kidding.
We got a call, and while we were filming, and they're like, "There's a squatter," so we just got up and went. We didn't know what we were going into. The cameras went in with us, and
it's cool.
It was kind of
could have been a guy with a gun. It could have been a
you never know.
It could have been
right?
anything. We don't know until you see the episode.
I can't wait to see it.
That's a good
Number
one.
7. Just kidding.
That's a good one.
But it tells the story of the neighborhoods. But like you said, it probably fluxes in terms of where you go, who you deal with, what you see. For us, we talk all the time about Hope for Flint. We talk about the electricity within the city and the economic growth that we're starting to see and how that is exponentially growing out within the neighborhoods. And I think you two are probably testimony of that electricity and growth moving out. I mean, moving out into the, whether it's Civic Park, whether it's the north side, east side, south side. Is that what you're seeing?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I mean, and the residents are really, resilient. They all come together and they all want to see, good things for the city.
That's
so
right.
I think it's good to see that. And I mean, even when I was young, like when I was younger in high school, I wouldn't even come downtown. I wouldn't come to Flint because there's nothing here, So over the last 15, 20 years, just seeing the development, seeing all this new stuff, seeing all the, just everybody's vision for the city and how it's grown in the last 15 years, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Isn't it amazing?
It
and
is.
one thing I'm really excited about your show is we created Hope for Flint because we wanted to create a platform that told our narrative. Being local, we know what's happening. It's exciting, and we'll scream it from the mountaintops. But I think your show will now help us reach this critical mass that is showing this shift within the city.
And that's honestly one of our most important things that we want to do with the show is to make sure that Flint's, people are still talking about Flint. It's not just a political thing. It's not just a thing where it works for somebody. We need Flint to stay on the platform because Flint needs help. So we have this platform, so we're going to do everything that we can to show it in a positive light, but in a real light too. There's real stuff that's actually happening out there. So we show those. We show the community support. We show and interview different people in different areas. We have a guy that built a basketball court for kids in his neighborhood himself.
Perfect.
So things like that. So we want to show that because we want people to continue to support Flint.
You are going to show how strong this community is,
That's
which
exactly
is absolutely beautiful. And, all three of us, we're generational kids here in the city. And I remember my grandma talking, I mean, they wouldn't even come downtown. They had to dress to the nines before they could even come. And us three kind of grew up during this time where General Motors or the automotives were starting to leave the city. People were moving to the outside, suburbs, if you will. And now you're seeing the shift where they're coming back downtown. Downtown's electric. And I think you two now are helping grow that electricity within the neighborhoods, forging these amazing relationships with the community and starting to help rebuild the beauty and the neighborhoods and really cleaning it up.
A lot of people that aren't from the city, we have clients all over the world, and like a lot of them don't get the behind the scenes, of Flint, the good stuff, what's going on, the changes. They all hear the bad news. They always hear the bad, the bad items, the crime, water, all these things, but they don't. A lot of times the news don't highlight the good stuff going on, and so it'll be nice to show the new, restaurants, new places we're going in the show, just to kind of showcase those for people to see there is life in Flint. There is, there are people creating new jobs and new things. So I think that'll help, just help people see that outside of the city, that aren't from here.
I love you both. And isn't it fun?
I love you too.
Yeah.
Isn't it fun? It's fun to start showcasing a beautiful, beautiful community that has been through the ringer and deserves so much.
I think that's what it was for us to finally say, okay, let's pull the trigger, let's do this show.
Yeah.
And let me ask these questions then too. So you guys go in, you're buying these houses. Do you flip them or tell me a little bit about the journey, the process.
So the show itself is more focused on the rental process of it and property management. As a business, we do flips, we do sales, we do everything in our current in our business. But mostly the show highlights people investing because people think buying investment properties is easy. They think, hey, I'm going to buy this house and make $1 million, or I'm going to make all this money off it. Well, it's not that case. There is a lot of behind the scenes stuff. There is damage that happens to the houses. There's a lot of factors that go into investing in property. So I think it's going to showcase that more so than like flipping shows, because flipping shows you're fixing and just selling the house, right?
Sure.
So this is going to show the issues that come with investing in properties, whether it's Flint or anywhere. But
it is a journey. So, and then is the end game, it's their rental properties, and then is it like providing hope and health to people who it's affordability and people with families or at a certain socioeconomic.
Yeah, just providing a quality house. You'll talk to a lot of people in the city that are renting houses and their landlords don't fix things. Their landlords don't, they're paying rent to somebody that doesn't own the house. So there's been a lot of scams, a lot of things going on. Again, those things will be highlighted in the show, but it's just making sure that people have a quality home to actually live in the city. And that's one of the things that's kind of hard with our clients sometimes is like, you guys are spending too much money on these houses. Well, we're not going to half-ass a house. we're going to do our best to do what we can at a rate that's affordable for, the clients and for the tenants.
That's all mutually beneficial.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
has to work for everybody. So.
Because, I mean, we're a small, although our company's large and we manage a lot of houses, but in the grand scheme of things, there's a lot of rental properties in the city. So, we're a small piece of that, but we're trying to clean up the houses that we manage or that we have, so we can at least try to spread that through the neighborhood. And people hopefully will follow suit. Some don't. And I mean, our hope is just to see how we're doing things, and hopefully people will
follow
do
your
that.
lead.
Yeah.
And while why you say you are on a small scale, really, you're on a grand scale. It's really for massive greater good. And I think you both can see that.
Right.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Nadim, Gabriel, Andre Zerka, just renting Flint. Again, we can look forward to that show. When does it air on the Heartland Network? August
25th.
What time?
8:30 p.m.
8:30 p.m.
We'll also be on Roku. So there's a free Heartland Network channel on Roku.
Really?
Just go in, search it, download it, and then you can stream it for free from Roku. So it doesn't even cost anything.
Yeah.
That is so exciting. I can't wait. Thank you both. Again, the name of the
Thank
company is Gabriel
Management. Yeah.
Gabriel Management, and you two are doing amazing things. Will you come back?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I
For
love
sure.
you
Thank
both.
you for having
And
us. This was
look
fun.
look for an article in the upcoming Hope for Flint, because these two definitely are Hope for Flint.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.